Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick, the King of Cars. Today we're here at Fuel Fed Coffee and Classics in Winnetka, Illinois. This show is very special to me. I've been coming here for a really long time, since I was a kid. I'll put up some old pictures of it and maybe some old pictures of me as well. A lot of cars are already pulling in here. We got here early, but a lot of amazing cars are already here. It's gonna be a great time today, and I hope you stick around. Heavy GT3 presence here at the show. We have this red Touring right here with the Touring plate. We've got a yellow non-Touring GT3. It's a very interesting spec. I like the silver wheels. I think it complements it really well. But here we have a Z8, BMW's convertible from the early 2000s. It's a Bond car, sawed in half in, which movie was it? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm a huge Bond fan, so I'm very disappointed in myself right now that I can't remember this. But these are so cool. M5 engine, manual gearbox, beautiful design by Henrik Fisker. These are all-time classics, and the values of these have certainly reflected that. Very cool to see this car. I don't think I've seen one out in the open in a very long time, so it's really cool to see this. Want to know what's better than one Z8? Two Z8s. Absolutely crazy. Another crazy car that's pulling in is this 91 Diablo in yellow. It's a very pearlescent color. Gosh, these things are absolutely timeless. I first didn't really like the early styling of the Diablos, but now I really do like these cars a lot more. It's a very clean design, but it's also, because it's a V12 Lamborghini, very, very crazy. Very, very cool. We also have this Audi RS2. This is actually my first time ever seeing one of these cars. Built by Porsche and Audi in collaboration on the same production line as the Mercedes 500e, as well as the Porsche 911 Turbo. There's Trent running after the Lambo. That might become a recurring theme as videos continue on this channel. But that RS2, I'm so glad I got to see one of these for the first time. I've been dying to see one of these since they first became legal to import. So really cool to see that car. V8 Vantage on red wheels, which is pretty interesting. I love the yellow fog lights right there. I really like the design of these cars. I feel like these are more of a gentleman's Mustang. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Got a 718 Boxster Spider and an F8 just pulled in as well. Very nice. Starting to cloud up here in Winnetka, but this Testarossa pulling in here is keeping things bright at this show. God, I love the look of these cars. Absolutely iconic poster car from the 80s, the slats on the side, and it smells amazing. These cars do have amazing smells. And that guy, the Rod Lova plate, he's got an interesting car that also runs that plate that he occasionally brings to this show in the form of a 250 Testarossa, a real 250 Testarossa. He only brings that car out maybe once a year, and he obviously didn't bring it out today. Here we have a new M4 CSL, the more hardcore and potent variant of the G82 M4. I haven't seen one of these yet, so it's really cool. I like the stripes, I like the arrow, and I like how they fixed the grille up a little bit. I'm not a huge fan, as is the case with many other people in the community, of the grille on the new G80 and the G82s, but this looks really nice. So the sun's slightly starting to show itself again, but this is a Mercedes 300 SL Roadster, which is the Roadster version of the 300 SL. Truly riveting stuff. This car is cool because obviously it's based on the very iconic 300 SL. It doesn't have the gull-wing doors owing to its roadsterness, but this car is a very frequent attendee here at Fuel Fed. But I like this car a lot because it's very well driven. This guy drives it a lot. Huge props, because these things are now worth through the roof. I mean, probably well over $1 million car here. So it's really cool to see guys driving these things out to these events very frequently. Here we have an Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint Speciale, styling by Bertoni. Very pretty car. Doesn't really translate well on camera, but it's like a teardrop, which is really gorgeous. I love just the swooping bodywork, and you can just tell that a lot of care was put into the building of this body. I mean, everything in this car is hand built, and the interior, the red interior, oh my gosh, it is just simply gorgeous. Here's one of the fan favorites here at Fuel Fed, especially with a lot of the kids. The kids love the Countach, the 5000 QV. This car has been coming to these events for as long as I can remember. I have pictures of my little brother and me and all of my friends standing next to this car. So a lot of memories with this car. It is a pure bull, as the plate suggests. This is a real Countach, and it is really cool. This car has been very well driven. I think there are like 80,000 kilometers on this car, which is just insane. So Caffeine and Classics is the unofficial Porsche capital of the world. I mean, I mentioned there are a lot of GT3s here earlier, but I mean, all the G bodies and the original 911s, 356s, the 912s, all these cars here. Look at this one. This is pretty damn nice. The rally lights and the green. I don't know which green this is, but it's really freaking cool. A lot of people walking into shot, which I do apologize for. It's not really something in my control. Yeah, if you're a Porsche guy, this is the place to be. Porsches, old and new, all over the place. Very cool to see. And a lot of really cool colors. I like the dark green here. Continuing on with the Porsches, we have a bunch more here. G-Body's got the 993, the original 911s. There's a 944 over there. Again, if you're a Porsche guy, this is where you guys need to be. Here's the F355 GTS that featured in one of my last videos. I went more in detail on this car there, but for those of you who haven't seen this video, which you should go watch after this video, this is the Targa convertible variant of the 355, one of only 2,048 cars. Tan interior, full tan interior, which you didn't really see well in the last video because it was raining. It looks a bit yellow on my phone here in the preview, but also the all-important manual gearbox. This car, extremely cool. Here we have a Rover SD1.
Styled to look like a Ferrari Daytona, and it does.
Thank you, Jeremy Clarkson. This car has a 3.9 liter V8, but because it's from the 70s, it makes almost no power. But it's still really cool design. I really like the British design from this era. It looks a lot cooler than the crap we were making here in America back in the 70s. Here we have a Lamborghini Espada, which is Lamborghini's V12 2+2 from the early 70s. I know Stradman has one of these in pink, which is pretty damn cool.
What kind, like a...
For God's sake. To be honest, I know the styling for me is a bit polarizing. I was never the biggest fan of these cars, but I understand why people do like them. It is a really interesting era of Lamborghini before they were building fully insane cars like they do today. When they were still building some comfy GTs, very much a part of Lamborghini's history that a lot of people don't know about, but it's a really cool part of the history nonetheless. A lot of Defenders in the Fuel Fed Club. This 90 is pretty nice though. Big tires, very nice looking car. A lot of Defenders obviously have been used as off-roaders, so a lot of them have been trashed over the years, but this one is really, really clean. Here we have a BMW Isetta, which if you play Forza Horizon is the fastest car of all time, that you also use as a soccer ball when you're playing with your friends, as I have done in the past. These things are really cool. I really like the color of the interior of this car and how it matches the stripe on the front of the car, well, I guess on the door here. I will never own one of these cars, but it's in a really nice color, and I really like the interior. It's pretty rad. Here we have two seemingly identical 993s, but the eagle item on you will notice this is a Carrera and this is a Turbo. And it's really cool to have these two cars next to each other in identical colors, or maybe nearly identical colors, though I'm pretty sure they're identical. But you could see the differences in like the design of the cars, and especially the fenders. Obviously the Turbo is much wider than the Carrera, but it's really cool to see. On top of that, you can see maybe some minute differences in the interior, like here's the Turbo. I guess that one's tinted, so you can't really see much in there. Overall, it's really cool. I'm really interested by seeing seemingly identical cars that are completely different trim levels but are in the same color. That was a mouthful, but I think you get what I'm trying to say here. Here's an exceptionally clean Land Rover Defender 110, even cleaner than the 90 we saw earlier. So this car was imported from Brazil, which is really cool. I also love the model that is sitting on the hood of the car. Here we have an Alfa Romeo Montreal and a Golden Retriever. Cute. Up until about a moment ago, there were actually two Montreals here, but this one is gorgeous. Small V8, but it's a tiny, tiny car, so you don't really need a big engine. I think this is one of the most beautiful Italian sports cars of all time. I love like the little vents that flip up, so it's not quite like pop-up headlights, but it's really freaking cool. And I love the Italian plates, and it's got I'm gonna butcher this, the Certificato di Origine. That probably wasn't as bad as I thought, but that means that this car is really nice. All the British cars are leaving in a convoy. It is starting to get pretty cloudy here, so I think it's gonna storm soon. All these guys like rolling together. You got some Morrises, you got MGs, I think. Don't know much about these. Hey man, I like exotics. You gotta cut me some slack here. You got the Hillmans and the Triumphs and your Austins, all the old school British stuff that probably leaves a nice big puddle in your garage. So the rain is starting and people are quickly scrambling, but the Countach just started up and it is making an amazing noise. A lot of people around it right now, but that's the effect of a V12 Lambo doing V12 Lambo things. Listen to this thing. For a second, we have the V12 pair of the Diablo and the Countach. It's got the headlights up. This is really freaking cool. the horn. Also heading out is this Ferrari 250 GT, silver over red interior. This is very, very beautiful. Let's listen to this thing start up. Very nice. Here's another look at the RS2 from earlier, but here is an E28 BMW M5. This car is an absolutely mint cherry museum piece, kept completely stock as all E28 M5s should be, especially when they're very nice. It is really starting to come down right now, but hey, I'm gonna keep filming as long as I can. In a matter of minutes, people are dispersing, but here's the Isetta on its way out. Look at it go. The wind is picking up, the temperature's dropping. Obviously the rain is coming down. It's a lot quieter than it was here 15 minutes ago. A lot of people still getting pictures and getting videos. All the big heavy hitters, so like in the form of the Diablo and the Z8s, those are still here, which is pretty cool. The Sprint Speciale is leaving. There's a Dino over there that I forgot to film. There's an E-Type that's also leaving, going that way. A lot of cars getting out of here very quickly before the weather gets even worse. 300 SL is about to go as well. Off goes the 348 that I featured a couple videos ago. There's a nice Estero Blue Z3M clown shoe. And the Diablo's heading out, and a lot of car spotters running after it. I don't feel like doing that though. Got the Boxer Spider heading out here, and they just took the top down, which I think is kind of ballsy on a day like today, but up to them. About 90% of the cars have left here today, but there's one more thing I want you guys to see. It's a Toyota 4Runner. Now, on the surface, nothing special about this car, but if you look closer, Panamanian plates. And the car is currently registered in Panama. Really weird that this car has come all the way from Panama and is here at the show in Illinois, many, many, many thousands of miles north. But it's really cool to see the cool plates. I've never seen a Panamanian plate here in the States before. So this car, extremely cool to see. And that's all I have for today. Didn't really go to plan because of all the changes in the weather, but now, of course, now that all the cars are gone, it's sunny again. But hey, that's okay. It's springtime in Chicago. You come to expect this sort of thing. But there definitely were a lot of amazing cars today, so if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, comment, subscribe. More videos coming up in the summer. I can't wait to share them with you all. But until then, this is Patrick, the King of Cars, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.